In my opinion, India is not one of the most, but the most beautiful, interesting, mystical, and culturally rich countries in the world. I fell in love with India before even visiting this country. When I was 15, a childhood friend of mine mentioned to me that he's into India meditation, yoga, and vegetarian lifestyle, and it blew my mind right there. I've been to India 30 plus times probably. I don't know the exact number, but I also had the fortune to live in India for 2.5 years from mid 2017 until 2019. So I think I am a little bit qualified to speak on this topic, and I hope the tips that I will give in this video about traveling to India for the first time, either as a solo female traveler or as a family or in a group, will be beneficial for some of you. So let's dive into this video. The most important tip that I can think of to give you is go to India with an open mind, be flexible, go with the flow, because India is nothing like you have ever seen in your life. Everything is happening right in front of your eyes. Everything is real and raw. Do not bring your Western mindset thinking that everything should be going by plan. I'm not saying that you should not plan your trip, but do not be overly attached, because in a split of a moment, things can start going in a different direction. The train you are on can break, the tire can puncture. It has happened to me a few times. Just like when you cross the street and you navigate your way to the other side, similarly go with the flow once you're in India, because India will not change for you. Understand that the locals in India like to do things their own local way. They do not think, oh, wait a minute, why don't we do this in American way or Swiss way? This is not going to happen. Tip number 2, do not forget your visa. This is my e-visa. Luckily, those who are traveling to India can apply electronic visa online. You just have to go on the official website of your embassy and then fill out form, like about 4 or 5 pages, and it costs only 40 francs for 1 year e-visa. So also make sure that your passport does not expire in 6 months. I have recently had a friend who bought a ticket and everything. He boarded the plane, and in Istanbul he was denied to fly to Delhi because his visa was in the old passport and he didn't have his old passport with him. So make sure your visa is in your new passport, or the passport has at least 6 more months of validation. Tip number 3. Please try to land during daytime or early evening. Try to avoid landing in India night time. It is not that it's really not safe, but it is just better to be safe than sorry. For example, my direct flight from Zurich to Delhi is always landing in Delhi 10 minutes before midnight. And in the past years, I used to wait about 4 or 5 hours, at least till 5 o'clock in the morning at the airport before I took a taxi to Vrindavan. But since the last 8 years, I stopped doing this because I found one very reliable owner who owns a taxi business. He has about 6, 7 or 8 maybe even drivers that I know them personally, so I feel very much safe. So now when I land in Delhi, till I go through the pass control, get my luggage and everything, it's about 1:30 in the morning, so then I take taxi without any fear. Oh, we are having a little break. The taxi buyer wants to drink chai, and I'll just hang here, check my rounds. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, actually 2:15, and I have already 4 rounds completed from today's Japa quota of 16 rounds. Actually, the reason why he called me in the car pretty much immediately, we just got out of the car, was because he has to use the restroom and no one is here around. As I said, 2:15, only our car is here, and this is the highway, and in the Daba is only me and the driver. So just for safety, he called me inside in the car and he locked me. It's really, really so considerate of him. But if you are first time and you don't know anybody, please try to land during daytime, as I said, and then ask for taxi. Either you ask your hotel to arrange taxi. Many hotels, especially 4 or 5 star hotels, they can send taxi to pick you up from the airport, or ask a friend if you have to pick you up, or you can also book your own taxi online. There is Uber or Ola, or what I have also done, you can buy a prepaid taxi at the airport. Now, regarding this taxi and organizing transportation, I would like to narrate one funny story. When I went for the first time in South India, I took a train, 36-hour train from Mathura to Chennai. And there I got out of the train in Chennai, and I had to reach from Chennai to Mahabalipuram because I was doing a yoga teacher training course there for 6 weeks. So I had absolutely nothing. I had no idea. I got out of the train, and then within a minute there were like 10-20 men around me, drivers, taxi drivers, rickshaw drivers, whatever. They were like, where are you going, where are you going? And I said, I'm going to Mahabalipuram. Okay, come with me, like this. They were pulling me left and right. And then somehow I just pick and choose one guy there. He said, okay, come with my tuk-tuk. And I said, really? And I had not even idea how much is the distance from Chennai to Mumbai, to Mahabalipuram. So I said, really, are you sure? I don't need a taxi, I can take a tuk-tuk. Yeah, no problem. He told me the price. I forgot now how much it was. And then I went, and then after maybe 20 minutes, tuk-tuk driving, he stopped all of a sudden in the middle of nowhere. It was like it wasn't a highway, but literally on the right hand side, there were just kind of like rocks, very high rocks, and on the left hand side it was going a slope down, and just few scattered houses and some buffaloes and few villagers. And it was maybe 3 o'clock, something like that, in the afternoon. And then I told him, hey, why did you stop? But his English was so bad, I couldn't communicate really very well. And he just told me that he ran out of fuel. And I'm like, what? How is this possible? Yeah. And then he just told me to get out of the tuk-tuk. He turned and left, and I was like this in the middle of the street with my suitcase, and I was like, what now? And these villagers, they saw me, and they were, one man was speaking English, and then he said, man, what happened? And then I explained the situation. And then he said, oh, there is a bus going by. And then he looked at the time. He said, in about 20-30 minutes, a bus will come that will drive you to Mahabalipuram. You just wait here. And really promptly, 30 minutes later, the bus came. I hopped on the bus, and then this is how I reached Mahabalipuram. I was really extremely lucky, but I do not recommend, please do not make this mistake. Arrange taxi beforehand. Do not just hop in a tuk-tuk in a destination that you don't know how long it takes and where it is exactly. Then tip number 4, SIM card. As soon as you land in Delhi or any other big city you're landing in India, please do buy immediately Indian SIM card. It is available at the airport. I personally have done that in the past, but as I said, now I am asking this my friend Manoj Prabhu, who owns the taxi business, to send me a SIM card with the driver. So immediately I changed my Swiss SIM card to Indian SIM card, because in this way I feel safe. Why? Just in case something happens, like some accident, you can easily reach the police or emergency. You can also text or call your friends and family to tell them about your whereabouts. So in this way, you feel safe to be in touch and to have this phone, to have this SIM card. Tip number 5, what to wear. Because India is very hot and humid, and it's also very conservative and traditional, I would suggest do wear, if you don't feel comfortable in sari like this, then do put shalwars or kurti, something that is loose, that is cotton, because it is hot there, humid, or if you go in the rainy seasons, you will really definitely feel very comfortable in loose cotton clothes. But also I would like to strongly suggest to women who are going to India, please do try at least one time in your life to put on sari. Maybe some Indian lady can help you. It is such an amazing and wonderful feeling that you will never forget, and you will feel so happy, and you will very easily blend into the environment. Tip number 6, is India safe? Yes, I would say it is as safe as any other country in the world. I personally would be more afraid to travel now in England or Germany or France, like that around Europe. I would be more afraid to travel there than to travel in India. But as long as we keep really to the guidelines, like do not go night time alone after certain hours, after 9 o'clock, for example, I never really go out when I'm in India, or do not talk with strangers in a way like do not accept invitation from strangers. But these tips are anyway applicable for all countries, not only India. So yes, it is definitely safe, just be very careful, do not go out of the main path. I have heard of some pretty bad tourist experiences, like one Swiss couple some years back. They were cycling around India, and then they wanted to go from Mathura to Agra, and it was getting dark, and they decided to go, because on the roads on the right side of the road is usually like jungle in India, and they just decided to stop cycling 10 o'clock or something in the evening. They put a tent and they wanted to sleep there and continue in the morning to Agra, and that was the biggest mistake, because they had really very traumatic experiences. So please, as I said again and again, say how important it is that you do not travel nighttime, neither alone nor with your partner, husband, nor in a group, or let alone like setting tents and sleeping somewhere in the jungle. It's a big no, not only in India but anywhere else in the world. And at the end, I would like to say that there is a word in Hindi language called jugaad. Jugaad means flexible approach to solving problems. So there is nothing that can't be solved in India. So my last tip is just relax, book your flight, apply for visa, and go in this amazing country with fully open mind and heart. And I 100% guarantee you, you will not regret. You will lose your heart in Bharat Ma. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon again in another video. Hare Krishna, Shubha Ratri.